Okay. Morning, Kara. Morning, Leah.
Good morning.
Okay. If you don't have notebooks, um, just just review the stuff I'm gonna go through um, from the recording. And what I want to be able to do this June is to help you guys just be super familiar, not just familiar, um, get to a level wherein our group really just becomes the best group when it comes to rollovers. Okay. Um, so this June, I'm gonna have the Samsung management team adjust the settings to favor more the retirement and annuity leads. And you guys are probably seeing them right now where they're already saying like the favorite color, right? So what I'm gonna have is there's gonna be a funnel wherein the form they're filling out on Facebook, pretty much it asks them all the information, but it's gonna have them get like a free annuity handout, which will give them a better idea. And so what that's going to happen is it's just going to be the starting point of the conversation, whereas you're going to personally send them the handout and and start a communication from there. So I'm finalizing the handout, but what I wanted you guys to see is how to explain this, because most of these people are seniors, and I'm gonna show you an example of a case I kind of did. This is actually for I talk about my aunt who was supposed to be my almost like my second mom here in the States, but out of all my relatives, she's the only one who never did anything with me, right? And now they finally did. And so she's 77. My uncle is 80. We're setting up two products for them. But I'm gonna explain to you how I made made them, because they're so fully invested in their Charles Schwab advisor, right? So I explained annuities the way I'm gonna show it to you guys right now, and if you can explain it this way, it's really gonna solidify your credibility with the person you're talking to. Okay, so now this breakdown, they're just they're it's just a one sheet guide, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do like an infographic here, so that when you send this to the prospect, to the lead, you're gonna take that appointment to be able to explain to them what they're seeing on the PDF file. Does that make sense? So the funnel goes like this. They click on the ad, and which where we're in. It's going to ask them questions, and that's why we're able to get the data. It's going to ask them that favorite color that's now showing up on those on the notes under the Samsung, and then one of the banners is actually going to show we're in. Would you like to get a free annuity simplified information? This is what it's gonna be. So we start the conversation from there, and then we basically get the whole thing going from that point. So I'm just gonna share my screen, because this is something this document I'm gonna share with you guys. As a matter of fact, Leah actually had an appointment with um, her brother, Huya Boy, and I explained them I explained this whole thing to them, but I still don't have like the nice looking handout done. I should be able to complete that over the weekend. Morning, Lenny. Okay, but here we go. So this is how you get them to you have to explain it in the simplest possible terms, in the words that they could understand. Okay, and so you're gonna explain them there are two types of annuities that, based on their age right now, this is the one that's suitable for them, right? These are the ones that are gonna protect their money from losing money because of the stock market. So there are fixed index annuity, and then there's also fixed annuities. Okay, so those are different. Now, some people classify fixed index annuities under fixed annuity, but they're not the same. And so under fixed index annuity types, there's what you call your income annuity, which means when they put their money there, they want to receive income for life, kind of like a pension. And this comes with an income rider. Okay, comes with an income rider. That rider comes with a fee. Normally, it's about 1%. 1%. And then there's the accumulation annuity, wherein they want to put it there. They're not going to touch it yet. Even though they're senior, maybe they're not yet in uh, required minimum distribution, which is, or they just, have some cash on them. Maybe they're like 65, their parents just passed away, they sold the house. I don't know. They have cash and they want to put it somewhere to have it continue to grow. Not thinking about withdrawals yet. So this is an accumulation annuity. Okay. And then I'm gonna show you guys examples where to find them on the website, etc., etc. The second one is a fixed annuity. A fixed annuity, think about it as like a CD, but giving more interest, and maybe it's a little bit longer. The one that gives the highest rate right now, and I know it's not high as stock, but basically there's people who just want to keep their money safe and have a little bit of interest, and that's a fixed annuity. Right now the interest is about 3.1. I think it went up to about 3.5. I have to double check when we run the illustrations in a little bit. Okay, so fixed interest, it means they're just gonna get that fixed interest for the duration of the contract while it's still there. And the second one under fixed annuity is the long-term care annuity, um, which means, and you guys know how this works, but for those of you who don't, basically the money they put in there, when they put it there, it'll either increase to twice the amount or three times the amount. Okay, most of I've done two of these, and both of them got three times the amount. And I'm processing one for my uncle, and he's probably just gonna get 2x, because on the questionnaire, if you answer yes, there's first four questions. If you answer yes, it's a decline, right? But on the next part, if you answer yes, then it's gonna be it's not gonna be a 3x. It's only gonna be a 2x. And when I say that, I meant if they put in 100,000, if they answer no to all the questions, which means even though they're older, they're healthy, then their 100,000 becomes $300,000 for long-term care. But if they answer yes to any of the questions after the first four questions, and I'm talking about the medical questionnaire, if you guys haven't seen it, don't worry about it. You'll at some point be able to encounter it. But if they answer yes to that, which is my uncle had got diagnosed with cancer, and so that's a yes, and so he'll still qualify, but it's not gonna be the 3x. It's only gonna be 2x. So let me, as I explain this, I'm gonna show you guys an example of what it looks like, what a fixed index annuity looks like, what an accumulation annuity looks like, what's a fixed annuity, and a long-term care annuity. Now, most annuities fall under here. Okay, fall under here. Only Global Atlantic right now, from what I know, as far as our product line, has a long-term, for this one for sure. Only Global Atlantic has a long-term care annuity, and then has a fixed interest. So how do you find this? Oh, basically when you go to mywfg.com, you guys see my screen still? Okay. Um. Okay. I don't talk about Samsung anymore. Okay. So so you go here in mywfg and you go under menu. You go into menu. You're going under recruiting and selling, and then you go to product providers and sales resources, and then it's gonna show this area. Show this area. Just know all applications can be accessed from here. So if you're applying for nationwide IUL applications, if you're applying for other insurance through Crump, whether it's other companies outside of Nationwide, Pac Life, and Trans, and you're using Crump, or you're applying for disability insurance, that's through here. And so AMS is the annuity marketing. I think it's solutions or services. I'm not sure what the S is, but if you click on here, this is where. Oh shit! I got kicked out. Frick. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, let me do that again. Don't you hate this when this happens? Yeah, happens all the time. I don't know why it does that, but does it. Two-step verification. I probably do a two-step verification like 20 times a day. 172909. By the way, I invited Carlos Octoman today, but unfortunately, their church service happens on Saturday morning. Um, yeah, he just closed a $1.1 million rollover field training for a newly licensed agent. So you go to menu, you go under menu, and under recruiting and selling, product providers again, sales resources, and you find this here. Now just know that RightBridge is here. RightBridge, you can find RightBridge here. You're gonna have to do a RightBridge report for all annuity applications. Okay, so you do the RightBridge because it's the annuity application. They won't allow you to submit it without a RightBridge. And so we go here to AMS. AMS now has all of these annuities that are inside our system, right? North American, Nationwide, FNG, AIG, Allianz, Global Atlantic, and Athene. If you actually want to start playing around with this, messing around with this, and just want to know what these things are, I suggest you go in here where I went to annuity rate and products, and you'll be able to see here. So for example, I'm looking for look up fixed index annuity product list. And so you're gonna see all of the fixed index annuities here. All the fixed index annuities here. And if I'm gonna look for just the one that is for, there's like an extended search here. Oh, advanced search. Oops. Advanced search. I'm looking for the index that are only S&P 500, right? So if I search that, these are the only S&P 500, and Mac was asking this, which ones have it, and this is how I found it, Mac, and it shows here the point-to-point cap. I'll get into that. What that is just like an index universal life has a cap. When you do a well, what do you call this? An annuity, you either have a cap or a spread. A spread is they subtract from the returns. For example, there's a 2% spread. So if the market does, if the index does 10, they'll get credited 8%. Okay. Now I'm just showing you inside here where all of these are, and that's why here 8.5% cap. But this is a high bid. This is a minimum premium of 100,000 to get that cap. Okay. If they're not at that, if they're only at about 25,000, then the cap's only at 4%. Okay. Those are certain details that you want to you. It's not that you have to memorize them, but just know this is where you could find that. You can find that. This is not as beginners friendly, and so you're gonna want to learn some of the terminologies here. And by the way, this is not something that you're gonna show your client. I'm just showing you guys what we have as far as within our system. Okay. So anyway, going back here. The reason why I wanted to show you guys that is because I'm gonna go into a Global Atlantic and just show you what an income annuity is, what an accumulation annuity is, what a fixed interest is, and a long-term care annuity. And then from there, I'm gonna show you how. Oh, you know what? As a matter of fact, before I get into that, this is the part. I'll just put this here. How to explain terminologies, okay, to boomers. Okay, let's call it that. Let's just have that area here titled that. Okay. You guys still see my screen, right? Did I freeze? No. Not frozen.
Good.
Okay. It's weird. Sometimes Now here's where everyone gets confused. Shoot, I was confused about this for a good, I don't know, first 5 years of my WFG career. I was really confused, but again, I was probably dealing with variable annuities before. And so inside an annuity, there are three amounts. There are three amounts, okay? And I'm talking about income annuities. So the first one is what you call your contract value. Contract value is the money that the client put in, and because it's a fixed index annuity, let's just say it's 100,000 and it's based on S&P 500, and let's just say S&P does 6%, then their 100,000 gets to 106,000. That is the contract value. Okay, contract value. Surrender value is when you put an annuity inside, you put money inside an annuity, you have what we call a surrender period. Surrender period. What a surrender period is, and it's either going to be a 7-year, a 10-year, a 5-year, it's the amount of time commitment that the money needs to stay inside the annuity. It doesn't mean they can't withdraw money. It just means that they can't withdraw all of it and put it somewhere else. For example, my money came from a 401k. I rolled it over into this new annuity, and it has a 10-year surrender. I cannot move this annuity and roll it over into a mutual fund or a CD or withdraw all of it, right? Because there's a surrender charge. And the surrender is based on the contract, the annuity. If it's a 10-year surrender, normally the first year they have to pay 9% if they withdraw all of it, 9% of their account. And this surrender goes down almost like by a percentage every year, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that's the contract value, and that's the surrender value. So the contract could be, 120,000, but there's a 5% surrender. So for 100,000, 5% surrender, that means if they withdraw, even though they have 100,000, if they take out the whole thing, then they're only going to get 95,000. Okay, because the surrender value is minus the surrender charge, the 5%. So that's the surrender value. That's the surrender value. Um, and I'm going to show the actual illustrations of this. Withdrawal base is when you have an income feature, an income rider. The withdrawal base is when people start hearing these bonuses. Oh, we have a 20% bonus. Oh, we have a 35% bonus. Oh, we have a 30% bonus. Oh, we have whatever bonus they're giving. That does not go to the contract value. It goes to the withdrawal base. And what is the withdrawal base? I think the best analogy here is like the lottery. You know the rules of the lottery. Um, I don't play the lottery, but I know the rules that you can either get, if you want to get the lump sum, you only get half. But if you're willing to get paid for about, I think, was it 25 years, then you can get the whole thing, minus taxes, of course. So same thing with withdrawal base. If you're going to take out lifetime income, then it's going to be based on a higher value. And this is where the 20% bonus, the 30% bonus, this is when those things kick in, right? The higher bonuses. It's not on the contract, it's on the withdrawal base. So those are the three amounts, and I'll show you how that looks like in illustration as soon as I'm done here with this part. So annuities are not invested in the market. So the money is inside the insurance company. By the way, only insurance companies can set up annuities. Mutual fund companies cannot set up annuities. Only insurance companies. Okay. So it's not that they're using your money to buy money in the stocks. Your money is basically in the general account, almost the same as life insurance premium. Life insurance premium. You know how life insurance premiums goes to a insurance company's general account? So these insurance companies, they have real estate, they have farms, and just like Warren Buffett owns, a bunch of insurance companies, he's the one investing all that money. And so basically they invested, and they lose money, that has nothing to do with you. With you, based on what we call an index, right? Insurance companies give account owners a credit annually. So they'll credit your account, whether it's a 2% credit, a 5% credit, pretty much kind of like a savings account. And it's based on a benchmark index. Based on a benchmark index. So that could be, S&P, Russell, or kind of like inside Global, Franklin, all of those. And so whatever that index does, or whatever that does between the anniversary of the policy, let's just say the policy or the annuity contract was set up June of this year, then by June of next year, whatever that index did in that 12-month window, you'll get a credit. And that credit is either based on what we call a point-to-point with a cap. Point-to-point with a cap, it means from, let's just say, from June this year to June next year, the market did 12%. But let's just say what I showed you guys a while ago, the cap was 8.5%. So instead of getting 12%, hello, Kuya Rene, you're not going to get the 12. They'll cap you at 8.5, and that's going to be the credit to this annuity or annuity owner's account, right? So that's the point to point with cap. And the reason why we say point to point is because it doesn't matter if the market goes down by 50% and the previous year, and then it bounces back the next year. Your money is not in the market, right? You're only getting credited based on the movement in that window. I hope you guys understand what I just told you. It's a little bit technical, but again, that means it's point to point. Okay, from let's just say S&P 3,500 points to 3,600 points. Okay, if the S&P, if on your first year the S&P was at 4,000 points, and the next year it went down 3,500, that has nothing to do with you or your client. Their account will just have an interest of zero. But based on the next year at 3,500 and it goes to 3,700, they're still going to credit that, even though 3,700 is less than the original 4,000 points, right? So it has nothing to do with the points or the levels of the S&P. It's only from where it's at the anniversary to the next anniversary. Okay, so that's the point to point with cap. The next one is based on um, based on a spread, and so a spread means, let's just say it's a 2% spread or a 4% spread. The spread is what's getting deducted from the contract value. So let's just say it's a 4% spread every 2 years. And so if the index performs, 20% in 2 years, and there's a 4% spread, how much will get credited? Anybody? You can type in on the chat. It's 4%. No, the 4% is the spread. There you go. 16. Right, Mac? So yeah. So if it's 20% performance of the index and there's a 4% spread, the contract will be credited 16%. So yeah, the spread is what's getting subtracted from the index. Okay, so now we have those two. Those two are the basis of, so it's either a cap or a spread. Okay, participation rate. Participation rate is how much percentage their money is. So that's now your decision, Kat, whether you want them to have a cap or a spread. It's either you choose it for them or you explain it to them, right? So as far as the participation rate, this is again based on what the performance of the index is. This is gonna be the multiplier. So if they say S&P 500 50% participation, that means if the S&P does 10 and it's at 50% participation, then they're only gonna get what? 5%, right? 5%. But let's just say they say 200% participation and the index does 4%, then they're gonna get 8. Okay? Now this is how you're gonna understand how this new North American annuity works because of the participation rate and all these other stuff over here. So now this is what people market so much, and unfortunately, this is how a bunch of people get sued too. Okay. Sometimes people are gonna say, okay, there's a bonus. 20% right away, day one, when you put in your account. Okay. That is not contract value money. That is not walk away money. It's what Austin said on the training. this is withdrawal based money. Withdrawal based. So withdrawal based simply means when you have a withdrawal, an income annuity, right? It works like a pension. Works like a pension. So if you have $1 million in annuities, right, or $1 million 401k, and they tell you, oh, we have a 20% bonus, when you roll it over with us, your withdrawal base goes from 1 million to 1.2. Your contract is still 1 million. Withdrawal base is 1.2, which means if you say, I want to start taking out money, and based on your age, the annuity will pay out 5%. So that 5% will be based on that 1.2 million. The 1.2 million. Okay? But if you decide to, withdraw money or liquidate your money, it's still going to be at $1 million minus the surrender charge. So now I put here accumulation bonus available because I was explaining the North American here. The North American. If you guys were super excited just like I was, they give an 11% bonus on that North American, but that's a pretty high fee. That's a pretty high fee for that bonus, and I'll show you how that affects the whole contract. If you're still cool with that, then yeah, then you can go right ahead and add that. Now, last few words here. These are just terminologies. And again, we're gonna add like some visual stuff here when we have this on a nice package in a PDF. For the most common rider is the lifetime income rider. Normally comes at about 1% fee. Okay, so what this means is for them to get a lifetime income, which means if they live till 120 years old and they roll this thing over at 65 and started receiving money at 66, this annuity will keep on paying them the same amount from 66 till 120. Doesn't matter how long they live, right? Whether it's 50 years or 60 years. But again, they're given a rate of withdrawal, 5% or 5.2%, depending on their age. The older they are, the higher the withdrawal rate. Withdrawal rate means if you have $1 million and you're at 65, maybe you can only withdraw 4.9% a year. But if you're 75, maybe you can withdraw 5.9% of the same million. So depending on the age of the person, that's how much. And that's the second part here. Income distribution rate. The rate of income based on age. And this thing goes higher as you get older. It's like Social Security. The more you keep your money in this annuity and not do your lifetime income rider, not execute it yet, your lifetime income will keep on going up. The calculation that you'll get. So the third one is what we call activities of daily living rider. So this is the one we're in when they start receiving lifetime income and they get in a situation wherein they cannot perform 2 of their 6 activities of daily living, then the lifetime income doubles. It doubles, okay? It's only available in 2 products, Fidelity and Guarantee F&G, and then the other one is on North American as like the 1 out of 4 optional riders that you can get from there. Last but not least is the step-up rate. Okay? Step-up rate. I'm just throwing like a bunch of stuff here with you guys. But again, this is day 1 of like our annuity. I want you guys to be like annuity masters. So the step-up rate is when you see that they're gonna say, oh, we're gonna give you a 7% guarantee. Oh, we're gonna give you a 7.5% guarantee, 6% guarantee. The step-up rate is again on the withdrawal base. So when they say, let's just say I'll give Global Atlantic as an example. Global Atlantic says we're gonna give you 20% bonus on the first year, and we're going to give you 7.5% every year after that. Right? Sounds awesome. Sounds awesome, right? That's basically them saying we're going to increase your money by 50, your withdrawal base by 50% on these first 5 years. Okay? These step up rates, which is the 7.5% on global or 7%, these are not contract. Okay? These are again the withdrawal base. So most of the stuff they will talk about is normally for the withdrawal base, not the contract. The contract is always just gonna be for based on the performance of the underlying index, and you get a credit. So now just know that these numbers that have a bonus, have a step up, that's not their money. That's only their income base. If they die, it's not based on the income base. It's based on the contract value. Okay? So I just want you guys to be able to separate these things and maybe formulate that in your head that there's two numbers here: contract value, income base, or withdrawal base, whatever term they're using with their company. So let's go get started and just look at these things, what they exactly look like when you start illustrating them. So one of the highest, the largest distributor within our platform of annuities is Global Atlantic, right? And Global Atlantic is the same company. If a client actually walks into Wells Fargo and want to do a rollover with the financial manager there into an annuity, they're gonna use Global Atlantic. When someone goes to UBS, they're gonna use Global Atlantic, right? Because why? Because Goldman Sachs owns everything. I'm kidding. So Global Atlantic is a Goldman Sachs company. They're basically the annuity division of Goldman. Once you've completed a rollover here, you'll be able to access their website and be able to run illustrations. But in the meantime, just shoot a text to or go into the. Okay, hold on. Okay. 622. Okay. See, my second two-step security verification today. Okay, let's start this thing. Okay. So let's just say I have a client, and we'll start first with a fixed index annuity. You see here, there's a choice: fixed annuity or fixed index annuity. Okay. On fixed annuity, you got 4Care, which is the long-term care annuity, and Secure 4. You know what? Just to keep it simple, let's look at this thing real quick. Let's start with a fixed annuity, Secure 4. So let's just say I have a client who just sold their house and they have $500,000 in capital gains after capital gains tax, right? And he said, I want to put it where it's safe, even though it's not a lot of interest. So we're gonna put it over here. By the way, this is the lowest commission in all annuities. Okay? This pays out about 1.2%, I think. Okay, so this is, let's just say, non-qualified money, and let's just say this is Sam, last name Paul. Okay, so this is Sam Paul. So at 55 years old, and he's gonna put in here $500,000. Let's just say 100,000. Let's put it here. Okay. When I click on reports, oh, There's an option here, by the way. It can be a 3-year window or a 5-year window. So let's just say it's just a 3-year window, and because he wants to keep his money accessible. So this is a 3-year annuity, the shortest of its kind. It's like a 3-year CD, and it's 100,000 over here. It will grow. Oh, there you go. Interest rate right now, it's at 3.5. Okay, can't find that in a CD right now. Go Google CD rates. Bank of America, Wells Fargo. So 3.5, that means it's 100,000. We'll get 3.5% compounding. So 3,500 year one, 3,623 year two, 3,749 year three, and so after 10 years, he's gonna have 110,000. Okay, that's it.
After 3 years, not 10 years, though, right?
After 3 years, did I say 10?
Yeah.
Okay. So after 3 years, 110,000. He can now withdraw it. There you go, 110,000. Surrender the contract, and now he's made that much in 3 years. Very safe. So it's almost like 11% after 3 years. Okay. That's your fixed annuity. Fixed annuity, 3.5%. So just link that in your head. Oh, we have a fixed rate, 3.5%. That's it. Next one. Let's just say so let's just say this guy has 500,000 and you go crazy, or 400,000, you go crazy. Okay, I'm gonna put you in 5 annuity products because you're crazy. The second one we're gonna put him in. Okay, we're gonna put him on. Oh, you know what's not good about this? You have to go all the way back here and redo the whole thing all over again. So you can choose this. So let's go. Okay, my other 100,000 I'm gonna use for another fixed annuity, but it's a long-term care annuity. So now this is the 4-care. Same thing. That's Sam and Paul, and it's 55. There you go. And he's gonna put in 100,000. So what's gonna happen? Well, this 4-care has what we call a long-term care rider. So even though he's gonna get a fixed interest rate of 0.75, there is a rider charge of about 1%. So he'll net about 2.75 on his contract value. So again, it's 2.75% contract, but his 100,000, as long as he gets approved on this questionnaire, he checks no on the boxes, he will have what we call an extended benefit of 200,000, which means if he uses this for long-term care, it will pay him 4,167 every month for 72 months or 6 years. Okay? So if you add that 4,167 or multiply it by 72, that's $300,000, which means his 100,000, after he uses up all of this contract value, they will extend it for another 200,000, as long as he still is needing long-term care. But this is still his contract value. If he dies, that's why death benefit here, it's not based on 300,000, it's based on the contract value of what? 100,000. By the way, this is the interest rate. They said it's not guaranteed, but they said they've never lowered it the entire for the longest time. As a matter of fact, it's all been going higher. So if this person dies and they never use the long-term care coverage and dies after 10 years, instead of 100,000, they'll have 131,000. Okay, because of that fixed interest. So, but then if they activate the long-term care, and this one again has no underwriting, just a medical questionnaire, this will pay out. And if this person was married, it will pay out both based on both of their lives. So, but it's going to be a little bit smaller than this one, which means that if the husband only takes out, because this is 72 months, if the husband only takes out, needs long-term care, but he only needed it for 30 months, there's still 42 months remaining to be used. So it's either the spouse can use it or he can use it again later on if that need comes again. So that finishes our fixed annuity illustrations. Okay? I hope you guys are keeping up. I got about 10 minutes and I'll finish with these last two annuities, the fixed index annuity. Okay. One is so I'm not going to talk about choice income. I'm going to talk about choice accumulation and then income 150. So let's start first with the accumulation annuity, but right now we're probably leaning towards more on the North American annuity for accumulation because it does extremely well. So here we go. Again, the same guy, Sam. Let's just say he has 100,000. There you go. And you want it, you see this? This is where, Kat, you're asking, how do we know where to put it? Well, you select here. You can go 50-50 blend, 25%. We used to always use Franklin, US index 100% here. But because this is over 100,000, then you can do 50% here, 50% here, and then we could do a 50% on S&P if you want. There you go. So now we run the reports again. By the way, this accumulation could be a 5-year, a 7-year, and a 10-year. Okay? What's the difference between those two? The surrender period. The surrender period. So if they choose 10-year, then it has to be in here for 10 years. They use 5-year or 7-year, etc., etc. So let's just say they keep it there for 7 years. Okay. So again, the terminologies that we were using a while ago. Okay. Surrender charge for 7-year, 9%, 8%, 7%, 6%, 5%, 4%, 3%. Okay. Caps and spreads. Okay. Franklin, point to point. And then S&P over here. I don't know why they're showing 6.5, supposed to be 8.5. So here we go. On this illustration, first things first, they're going to show an illustration where if the index does 0% for the next 40 years, okay? What it says is your contract value, it means, the index goes negative for the next 40 years, which means Apple shut down, Tesla shut down, Google shut down, Microsoft shut down, Amazon shut down, and all the banks shut down, and all the healthcare companies and pharmaceutical companies, and all the car companies. They all shut down, so it's the apocalypse, right? Then their money is still guaranteed, okay? That's what this page is for. If the whole system collapses, right? Now, this is where the money actually grows based on the credited amount. See this? Contract value, surrender value. Because this is what? This is an accumulation annuity. There is no income value here. You only got the contract value. Year 1, we saw that surrender charge is 9%. So most likely 9% of this is whatever this shows up here, 94,000. So if this client decides to close this account and take out the money, and he's or she's at 131,000, only going to get 125 because it's still at year 5. Only after 7 years at year 8, wherein it's 167, then they can take out 167. Okay? This is, and if the market is negative, they're not going to get a negative return. They're just going to get a 0. Okay? So they get a 0 or a positive. Now here's where it's showing here, right? The S&P 1 year point to point, I think the 8.5% probably on the other option. I'll go check that. But see here, if the S&P has 13.41, they get 6.5. 29.6, 6.5. Negative, they get 0. See that? That's cap. Okay? Here, it's called a 2-year point-to-point spread. 2-year point-to-point spread. I don't know the sum of this too. I'm just 18.5 plus 6. Oops. 25.18. Okay, so 6.68 minus 3.25. Okay, so the spread here is 3.43%. So you see here 6.68 minus 3.43. Sorry, my bad. 6.68 plus 18.5. 25 minus 26. Okay, sorry, my bad. The spread is 1.25. So if you add these two minus 1.25 every 2 years, this is the return, 26.42. That means it actually returned a little over 27%, probably 27% something. So I get 24% on 50% of their money and 6.5% on the other 50% of their money. This is called a 50-50. That's why we used to just put everything on Franklin, because this is what it looks like. Okay? And so based on this growth, this is what's getting credited into their account. Does that make sense? And that is your accumulation. Now these illustrations will always show most recent years and the highest performing 10 years and the lowest 10 years. Okay? So you look at the variation is not that far. At worst case, this 100,000 after 10 years is going to be at 177,000. At best case, 202,000. And that's this global accumulation. Last one is the global Atlantic income, which is the highest selling annuity product in the marketplace right now. Income 150 SE. There's a Filipino guy, Chris, I forgot his last name, just crossed over $800,000 a year, and this is as an SMD, and all he sells is this Global Atlantic Income 150 SE. Okay, let's check this out. Last one. So again, what I'm gonna do is I'm still gonna pick here, similar to what we did a while ago, 50% on Franklin and 50% on, maybe this is 1 year point to point. I selected monthly point to point. So 1 year point to point. Oh, that's the one right there. So now we're gonna add the this comes with a rider, the income rider, and now you're gonna see it's a very complicated illustration, but just bear with me here. Again, we're gonna go back to the surrender charge schedules over here. See that? Rider charge, guaranteed lifetime withdrawal benefit, 1.05. Okay? Now you're gonna see now, same thing, they're gonna show an illustration wherein it's all zeros, and the second illustration is similar to what you guys saw in accumulation a while ago. So again, oh, okay. Now the reason why So I didn't adjust the withdrawal. Let me just change that real quick. So what I did was I put activation here year 1. I'll put this activation year 11. So when this guy turns 65 or 67 years old, his income rider will be activated. By the way, that income rider can be activated at any time, but I wanted you guys to see what I was talking about a while ago. Okay, here we go. So if you see here, 100,000 withdrawal benefit. This has a 20% bonus on, again, what? The withdrawal base. So there you go. The 100,000 showing here 120,000, but contract value is still at what? 100,000. Oh, minus the rider charge. So it's only showing at 99,000. You see that? So 99,000 there, he's getting credited based on the index. But you'll notice here after 10 years, this is only at 135. Okay? But this one is at 212. If he passes away, does he get the 212 or the 135? He gets the what? He gets the 135 because that's the contract value. Now, if he decides to start lifetime income, you see here it's at 4.35%. But you saw that if he started lifetime income at 57 years old, he was only going to get 3.8% of 135. Right now, he's going to get 4.35 of 212. So this 100,000 will pay out 9,478 for the rest of his life, even if the contract value gets depleted to 0. So this is what you will most of the time sell. But again, it has the most moving parts. That's why I had to explain these different terminologies of what is bonus. This is the step up, 7.5% step up, 20% bonus. This is the income rate or withdrawal rate. It goes up from 3.7 at 55, 3.8 at 57, goes up to 3.95 at 60, right? It'll keep on going higher as this client goes up. And this is how they're gonna have their lifetime income. So contract value here, this is the index return, and this is what this whole thing looks like. So where it shows withdrawals, it means he didn't withdraw any money for the first 10 years. Cumulative withdrawals is the total money he would have taken out, and that's why this is showing 9,478 every year, because that's how much he's taking out. This is adding how much he's taken out. This is the interest that's getting credited on his account, and this is his contract. If he decides to walk away, he'll walk away with not 110, 105. Okay? But the debt benefit is always going to be the contract value without the surrender. Okay. Can you guys see me? Hello?
or not?
There we
it is.
go.
Sorry about that.
Yay! Welcome back.
Good. Read us out there for a sec.
So,
Yo.
where did I lose connection? When?
You were on the
Mark said the
last
best part.
Oh, last part.
The best part.
Best part, she said. The climax.
What the heck?
Her words, man. I just reworded a little.
After the witness part.
The wet catex.
So you were on the last part, Age, talking about the 20% and the after they get towards the 10-year, and then they have their money, where they would if they were to exit earlier, what they would have.
Okay.
Okay.
So, good. Okay. Good. I'm reopening it right now. Anyway, well, as I'm opening this thing, which won't seem to open right now, so you guys, are you guys able to distinguish now what's the difference between a accumulation annuity and an income annuity? And also there's a fixed annuity, and there's a long-term care annuity. Just know, based on all the clients that you're going to go into, those are the 4 options that we're going to be setting up for them. They either just want to keep on growing their money, or they want to grow it, but at some point they want to have income. The reason why someone's going to ask, okay, well, because it's growing on the income, why can't I just use that, the index annuity that has the income? And because maybe they don't plan on using it as income, they just want to accumulate, then obviously you don't want to have to pay for that income rider, and that's when you're going to put them on a accumulation annuity. Okay, and which is why which brings me to the new product, the North American, which is primarily, I would say, that its best purpose is for accumulation. So if you're still looking for long-term care annuity, still go with Global Atlantic. If you're looking for income annuity, it's still Global Atlantic or Nationwide. Nationwide, the only thing is, the one I didn't talk about is the term free withdrawals. Free withdrawals is the amount of money they can take out from their contract without having to pay the surrender charge. And so with Global, it's 10%. With Nationwide, it's 7%. Okay? Also with Global, free withdrawal is available on day 1 for the first year. Nationwide won't become available until after the first year. So again, it's 10% Global, available first year, 7% on Nationwide, available next year. So why do we still use Nationwide? Nationwide has a higher withdrawal rate. If they can wait at least 1 year before they take out withdrawals, right, then it pays out a little bit more. I would say, like, let's just say, you know what I'm talking about, the withdrawal rate, right? The percentage that they get their lifetime income. So let's say 5% is the lifetime income with Global. With Nationwide, it's probably like 5.1%. So it's a little bit more. There's a few percentages higher based on that lifetime income. So if they can hold off of withdrawing for 1 year, then there you go. But like my specific clients that I deal with, if you're rolling over a pension, they want that money now. So they can go, oh, can you hold off getting income till 1 more year? And that's the deal breaker, right? But if they have like a pension and a 401k, and just tell them, okay, as far as this first year, we're just going to use the money from the 401k. And then by year 2, you can start doing your lifetime income on this pension that we're moving to Nationwide. So that's going to be the difference between those two. So let me go back to what I was sharing a while ago. This is for care. I'm not sharing for care. Is it this one? Oh, it's all for care. I think I closed all of them. Yep. Okay. So let me just open that illustration again. This is my third two-step verification of the day that you guys have seen. Okay.
Are you sharing something right now or not yet?
No, not yet.
Just checking.
Okay. Now I'll be sharing. Okay, so again, how do you get to here? You log into Global, click on I agree, click on new illustration. Again, this is a fixed index annuity, income 150 SC. I go with, let's just say this is now a qualified one is 401k, 403b. When you hear the word qualified, it means they're inside a retirement account that they couldn't access until they're 59 and a half. That's qualified money. Anything that you have to qualify based on age to be able to use. Okay? So same thing, let's just say this person has 500,000, right? And we used to, so let's just say here, 1 year point performance trigger. Maybe that's the one. Point cap. 50%. And then Franklin. Oh yeah, because this is not accumulator. I just put everything on Franklin. That 8.5% cap is only on accumulator, not on the 150 SC. I just realized that. So activation year is year 11. You do a $500,000 rollover. That is a good day, right? What do you call a $500,000 rollover? A good day. Okay, so here we go. Going back here. So again, column by column, this is the age. Withdrawals here showing 0. But this person decides to withdraw money on year 11. So it's 500,000, right? By year 11, oh, this is the 0. 500,000 by year 11 by year 10 gets to about 1.2 million. Okay? So its withdrawal base is $55,000 a year. $55,000 a year. On withdrawals here, that's what he's getting every year. On cumulative withdrawals, it gets added, right? And in its contract value, of course, it gets depleted. And this is where you can say, you know what? If you live till you start withdrawing over here, this is the death benefit. And they live till, let's just say, 80 years old, even though they've withdrawn 833,000, they're still at 343,000 benefit, right? If this was a pension plan, this 343 would go back to the employer. That's why you roll it over into an annuity so the death benefit stays within the family. So this now is the lifetime income. This is based on 4.45%. So again, based on the terminologies that we were talking about a while ago. I'll just put it side by side. Let's do this real quick. Okay. Withdrawal base is this number, or income base, right? Bonus, you see this? 20% of 500,000 is 100,000. You could sell this, someone could sell this as, okay, you get 100,000 on your account starting day one. That's like huge, right? On a down market right now, anyone can sell that verbiage. But you notice here that 20% does not go to the contract value, okay? It goes to the what? Withdrawal base. I know I'm being repetitive because, again, it's very confusing sometimes. Lifetime income rider, you saw that a while ago. It's called GLWB here. Guaranteed lifetime withdrawal benefit. It's the same. They use different words, but that's just the lifetime rider. Okay. Income distribution rate. This is this one. 3.75, 3.85, 3.95. Okay. ADL rider. Global Atlantic does not have that in California. But if this were Arizona or any other state, Santa Fe, right? Then this 55,000 will become 110,000 for 5 years if this person qualifies for 2 of 6 ADLs. Step up rate, that's this 7.5%, which is the 37,500, which is the 7.5% of this 500,000. Okay? Point to point cap, we already discussed that. Spread, you guys already saw that. If you want to see it again, point to point cap, well, there's no point to point cap here, only a spread. So the spread here is a little bit higher. See, 6.68% on year one, because they only get credited every 2 years. 6.68 year one plus 18.5% year two. This is 25.18%, but they're getting credited 23.42. So that means the spread is 1.76. So there's a 1.76 spread here every 2 years. And that is the accumulation. But if you want to see one last accumulation annuity, hope I could find it here. North American. That's a brochure. I think I have that one here. Okay. Oh shit, 1217. Okay, I'll just show this. So a bunch of you guys are working on a bunch of different cases, and some of you guys are working on income, some are working on accumulation, some of you are working on long-term care, right? So at least you guys know the difference between all of them. Okay, I'm just opening up this last example of North American Secure Horizon. As I'm waiting for it to open, this is how this whole thing works. As Mac knows, interest rates are going up. Well, probably most of you guys know. Interest rates going up because we are in what? We are in what we call our runaway inflation. Last time this happened was back in before Ronald Reagan became president. So interest rates shot up all the way to about 20%. 20%, right? It's crazy if you think about that. So this North American, it's based on interest rates. Interest rates. But what creates a kicker on it is it gives a pretty crazy participation rate, 3.85%, 385%. So if the interest rate is at 5%, 5 times 3.85, that's 19.2%. That is the return that your client's going to get. Okay? So that's the new product. That's the new product. It's still loading right now on my screen, but I'm just going to show you one example because I just was able to set one up. By the way, you guys got to do a bunch of Reg Ed and just probably getting appointed with this one. And this is available for 30-year-old and above, okay? All the way to 79. I have an uncle who's 80 years old, and I presented this, and he didn't qualify because he was 80. See this? Participation rate, 385%, 335, or 325. You get to choose which one here. So here, a 250,000 accumulation value, highest potential after 10 years, 1.3 million. Don't show this. Most reason is $1 million. Worst case in the last 10 years, in the worst case is 889,000, right? So again, they show here the zero rate, right? If the whole market, if the government decides to do 0% interest for the next 20 years. But this one's the most recent one, okay? That's why this is what it looks like on the crediting, and your 250,000 gets to about $1 million. Okay, they need to get that last one, keep the money there till the last one, because that's when they really just double down on this laddering over here. Again, it's hard to explain, but the one that you can't explain is the one I just told you. Inflation's high. That's why interest rates need to be high. You get credited here based on interest rates, but we have a 3.85% multiplier. So that means if the interest rate is 4, we get about 19%. Okay? This is how this works. That's why they're showing these numbers over here. And this just became available June 6th of this year. That's why our Facebook ad is advertising this. And there you go. That is a wrap. Any questions?